What's poppin', dogs? Mr. Allen here. We're about to sketch the graph of a polynomial function with the following characteristics. So I've got an absolute minimum at x equals positive 4. We are decreasing on the interval from negative infinity to negative 2 and 1 to 4. And then I also have a 0 with a multiplicity of 2. So what does this all tell me? It's very, very difficult to throw this all in at once. You got to go kind of piece by piece. Well, I have an absolute minimum at x equals 4. So the lowest point of my graph is going to be when x equals 4. How about I go to x equals 4, I drop down, and I throw a low point right there. Perhaps that will work out, right? I got one thing down at least. I feel good about that, you know? All right, what else does it tell me when I have an absolute minimum? If I have an absolute minimum, there's the lowest point of my graph. That means it has to be an even degree function. And even more information is that it needs to be a positive lead coefficient for my even degree function. Okay, so it's maybe quadratic, or perhaps it's quartic, or maybe a degree of 6, right? Is there anything else that can help us, figure out which one it might be? Well, I'm decreasing on 2 intervals. That definitely cannot happen if I just have a quadratic, which is a parabola. I also wouldn't be able to have a 0 with a multiplicity of 2 if that's my minimum, right? So quadratic's out of the question. Perhaps a quartic function, something like this, positive quartic function, will be our ticket to success. I don't know, bro. Maybe. All right. Well, we call that our absolute min, right? That's our lowest point. My end behavior is going up on both sides, so I do indeed have an absolute minimum, not just a relative minimum. Let's see here. We got a 0 with a multiplicity of 2. How's that going to work? Well, it's going to bounce somewhere off of my x-axis. So at one of these 2 points is going to need to bounce, all right? So perhaps we start getting into our decreasing intervals. We're decreasing from negative infinity to negative 2. And I think it helps at times to throw down some, maybe some dashes here of where these changing of directions are going here, right? So from negative infinity, this whole side of the graph, I'm decreasing until we get to this spot right here. And then we'd have to be increasing from negative 2 to positive 1. So then I'm going up in this section. And then again, I'm going down in the section thereafter. So from here to here, I'm decreasing. And then I'm back up again. So we get this kind of a situation. Oh, perhaps throwing down some of these lines in our rough sketch could help us paint this picture. Oh my goodness, bro. I think we're getting somewhere, man. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and throw my x-axis right along here. All right. So I'm going to bounce off this first spot right here. How about? So we're going to do this. We're going to come down. We're going to bounce. Now I'm increasing again. But then at that blue line, I got to change direction, right? I got to change direction. I got to go down to this guy right here. Make sure I hit that absolute minimum, and then I'm coming back on up. All right, now it helps in these particular situations to backtrack, take a look here, and see, does it fit everything here? Okay, do I have an absolute minimum at x equals positive 4? I do, right? Boom, lowest point, x equals 4. Awesome. Decreasing from negative infinity to negative 2. Yes, here's negative infinity all the way over here. To negative 2, I am decreasing on this graph. Then, am I also decreasing from positive 1 to positive 4? Yes, this stretch, I am decreasing from positive 1 to positive 4. The last one, do I have a 0 with a multiplicity of 2? Boom, that bad boy's bouncing right there, man. I got a multiplicity of 2. The other stuff just kind of happens there, right? There's going to be more to it than just these, but I fit all 3 of those criteria, all 3 of those characteristics. That means I've got a sketch that works here. This is correct. It's awesome. America Freedom, rock and roll. Costco, River Dog Jenny on the gram. You guys have a fantastic day. Deuces, dogs.